really bad shape. Her like I think she has dementia. She's like his mom.
Almost there. I hope you enjoy
Yeah.
the ride.
He's like she's like getting to the
Here,
point that she like
enjoy.
can't even like read a clock properly. So that was the only. He said everything was great otherwise, like his kids, and he's blah blah blah, chilling this and that. But he's like, my mom's like fucked. Like I need to do everything for her, and he's like, really, she should be in a home at this point, but I can't. I'm not gonna put her in her home right now, like COVID and all that. I was like, yeah, I hear you, man. But other than that, he said he's good. Hey, did you hear about all this licensing debacle and like Audi Downtown's being like investigated and shit? Okay, I didn't hear that either, but I kind of put the. So I'll tell you, but I kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together after maybe you may. Also, has Vanessa not been there the last couple days? I didn't notice her. Because I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm wondering if she got fired or if they told her to stay home. So what happened is, without all the ins and outs and who's involved, I think there was a couple that got a car and then they separated, whatever that detail is. Basically, we forged her signature, which we used to do all the time. You know, they brought those licensing forms out randomly, and all of a sudden they're like, make sure customers sign this, and we were like, what? Remember that? So we would always sign over, right? But in this case, I guess they forged the signature for one of the like spouses, and then there's just a legal challenge to that, like that it wasn't supposed to go to them, or just forgery, like, you know what I mean? Like nobody signed that ownership over to be in the husband's name or the wife's name. The signature is Vanessa's. That's illegal. That's fraud. So I kind of knew about this because it was either today or yesterday. Ramil walked over and told Christina she's going to have to learn how to start licensing. At the time, I was just like, okay, they're just trying to make her people do work. But I haven't noticed Vanessa, and then now I'm thinking, is Vanessa like Dunsky? So they're getting someone to fill in the blanks, or what's up? Anyway, apparently, Keith is the one that like said to Vanessa to license this car this way. So I don't know if that also had something to do with his floor manager resignation. I don't want to cause a rumor or anything, but at the end of the day, that's how it went down. And apparently they called the business manager first, and I think the business manager said no, so because they're not supposed to do that. And then Keith, I think they like complained and called Keith, and then Keith was just like, oh, you know, like Vanessa, can you do this? So then she did it, and then the other, I don't know if it was the wife or the husband, whoever didn't get the car, obviously went pretty ballistic, and now they'll win. They'll win 100%. I don't know how they'll fix the problem. So yeah, I'm like, oh, it's all the pieces make sense now. Haven't seen Vanessa. Keith was acting funny. Just resigned. Yeah, and then they're like, oh, start doing licensing. I'm like, what's going on here? Now I know. But I don't think you could really fire her for that, can you? Like, she did the fraud, but she was instructed to do it. She could just play the innocent, unless the dealership uses her as a scapegoat. Like, she did that. And then it's up to her if she'd want to do anything about it, I guess. So that sucks. I would think, though, man, Keith's smarter than that, no? Sweet. I would think Keith would know better. Like, we do these frauds when like someone buys a car or something and they're like, okay, just sign it for him. But if there's a divorce or like something like that, that's a red flag, no? Like that. But Keith, I would think, smarter than that. I don't get it. Just seems like something he'd be like no to. I don't know. Unless there was some bullshit story fed to him that he for some reason believed. I don't know. How do you like being back at the dealership, though, all things considered? The layout of the place, you mean? Or the whole store? And I guess you're not as stressed now. Because when you were telling me about coming back, you're like, well, fuck. I'm running out of cash flow here. So at least you're making some dough now. There's a lot of shitty jobs, eh? Like, as much as there's a lot of shit about our job, there's way worse. It's like pretty hard to find something. Even though now I'm sure you're not making anywhere close to what you were making before. But it's still more money than a lot of jobs pay these days. Better than like a lot of most jobs, I would say. Well, that's good then. They pretty much leave you alone anyways, so you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Yeah. That's good though that they didn't try. That's one thing I'll say to that store is some stores, they micromanage the fuck out of everybody. So at least at this place, they're not that bad. It has its share of nonsense, but it's not fucking brutal. Like Oakville, my friends have to fill out log sheets on everyone they talk to, and before they go home, they interview you on each client. Shit like that. Like you can't go home. Like if your shift's done at 5, you have to stay until you fill out those reports and shit. Yeah, so that's fucking brutal, and at least they don't do that here, but at the same time, you know what you're doing, so why would they? The store? The store is doing better than ever the last 2-3 months. Like, their rankings, they were like third second and third, I think, the last 2 months. We were like fourth and sliding more into fifth since Queensway was built for a lot of the year. I think we sold more cars last month than last year and the month before last year. Like for 2020, better than 2019. Yeah. So it's we're not doing shitty. They're doing very well. They're actually like holding more market share the last few months than we were prior. Even though I'm sure the total sales for the year are for sure down, but everybody's are down. So we were closed for 2 months. How can you compare it? So I think they're relatively content, but I don't know. As long as they can try and hit and get to some targets so that all the managers get their fucking bonuses, they'll be okay. And they don't rank like they said in one kickoff. I remember the one that Sylvester came that year. There was a really good year. He said he made a comment about didn't care about number 1 but wanted to be top 3 because after you're out of the top 3 the manufacturer doesn't like treat you the same. I don't know if you remember that. So I've noticed that since that time it's never number 1. We never talk about like, guys, we're trying to be number 1, but when we're 4th and especially 5th, they don't like that. They want to be 3rd. I think that's Sylvester's thing, is like, you don't have to be 1st or 2nd. Let's try and hit the target so we get our fucking thousands of dollars. Yeah. They get huge money when they hit those numbers, man. That's why it's such a big deal. Like, they fucking huge bonuses that get paid. And the managers, I guess, get paid a part of that. I'm sure you probably know better than I do. I'm sure Ronan might have mentioned some of that stuff. If not, he probably would know. But you probably made more than he did, I would think, when you were in your prime and when the business was better. Yeah. He says he's doing pretty good now, though, financially, so... You don't talk to him, man. You don't talk to him. Since COVID, or... What was he doing? Yeah, just he was one of the people like you actually had a ton of interaction with. It wasn't like oh, you don't talk to Brad Merrill? It's like, no, I talked to Brad when I saw him every day. But Ronan was a guy you talked to like outside work and at work. So I thought you might still kind of keep in touch, but oh, there's an R8 Spider here. I've seen the coupe, but not the Spider. With Megan the dog, it's like, what the hell are you gonna fucking do? In COVID, you can't even chill anymore, so... Yeah, obviously. The fuck? You never had that comment of just like him saying, hey man, like you're cool, or you just being like, by the way, just so you know, like I'm fine with it? You guys never exchanged any kind of words that way? What? You're not that kind of guy though. At the same time, I don't think you'd really want to hang out with or talk to him very much. I don't as much. I miss his brother too, though. His brother's an awesome dude. I think Ronan was pissed at him last time I talked to him. He said he like quit a good job he had or something, but I don't know what he's doing now. You think they'll change the pay again, or you don't know, you don't care? What do you think? Well, the new... Oh, last year. I heard Mitch... Well, Mitch said to me, he had like a... He was doing dealer trades, including one of mine. Like that shitty one that had all those... Like you got the wrong car and all that. And he goes, man, we gotta change something about locates and the pay. Like specifically said that to me. Like, dude, we used to get $500 for a Q5. Now it's $350. You're gonna tell me you're gonna pay me less if I locate it? Come on, man. You're gonna pay me $250 next? Yeah, like, I get it, buddy, but he shows like, you know when they show you the gross in the car? That's not the gross, man. Mats aren't $198 dealer cost. Anti-theft does not cost, like, admin is not $390, like fuel is not $460. Don't show me $322 or $200 gross. It's not. Like, why are you showing me that? It's not what it is. So it just annoys me. Like, what can you do? Well, the wheel locks are the last thing that they did, and did they add anything else since then, or no? Just wheel locks. Oh, if you notice the freight charge, do you see how freight is like $2,600 or something? I asked about that, and they basically told me, and this might be true, and you might already know better than I do, but they said that it gets like readjusted in accounting. Do you know what I'm talking about? I guess to cover like additional costs associated with the car. I think they're just stealing money. I don't believe them. But anyway, I asked him, I'm like, why is this freight like 26 something when that's not what the freight is from Audi? And like, oh, that's just like accounting, and because of charges, like it gets reconciled in the end, like you don't pay that. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't, if there's associated fees, those should be charged separate, but anyway, they did that and then charged wheel locks. Why do you say that? Aren't they charged on the actual invoice though? I don't know if they are. I'm thinking they might actually be charged, but I don't know if that's it. We should jam it down their throats. What bothers me about the wheel locks is They're $101 on Audi's website. So if you're gonna charge them, why are you charging above list price? Money, yeah. But like you said, you're charging for them, and now you're charging above the retail. It's a little bit greedy. But whatever. It's like hard to... Do you explain those fees to people? I find when you go through it, it's like... It takes a long time, man. Anti-theft. Yeah, eh? I said before when they raised our admin from $2.95 to $3.95, whatever, I'm like, just make the admin... You raise $100, put it to $4.95 then. And just say it includes all that shit. So at least we're not, like, having line. I do find it kind of gets in the way of selling a car. I would love to just be able to be like, oh, admin's this much, that includes your wheel locks, also includes anti-theft, blah, 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 blah. And then all you gotta pay is first payment security. I hate being like, this charge, this charge, this charge, this charge. It's like, fuck, man. Oh yeah, they get mad. They get pissed. They get pissed, and I'm like... That makes me upset that it's like, okay, you try to charge the fee, but you're telling me that if I go through a bill of sale with a client and they tell me they don't want it, that I have to charge it because we'll fuck it up later and we won't, like, remember, we'll still give them the, like, what are you doing? Like, that's not reasonable. The guy says, I don't want wheel locks, don't fucking, okay, you don't get wheel locks. Whatever. What are you playing right now? What are you doing? Blackjack? What mode? I was waiting. Oh, I was waiting for you to send me. Scattered. So it pays you triple, you said? Like that's part of the, is that part of the sale thing? Like each week they pick a series that pays you more and stuff? Oh, okay, sweet. So Thursday you said they come out with the new stuff. Thursday, like at midnight. Do you tell customers that you're an actor? You don't want to get into it? Or you don't want to answer the like, oh, what have you been in? And like all that shit, or why don't you mention it? So do you just tell people about the VW thing if they're like... I mean, you must see some customers that you just haven't been there and they're like, oh hey, it must happen occasionally right now. True. Just makes it simpler that way. Yeah, I got it. But generally you don't say... Is there another, like, have you reached all the unlocks? I was surprised at 50 I didn't get any weapons. Yeah, tell me. I looked up online and they said that AP pistol was one of the best ones, so I started using that more recently. Other than that, I think I've been using assault rifle a lot. I've been trying to play around with different weapons because I realize different situations are different. Those are just fun. What should I use? Generally, I guess. What do you use? A weapon I can't get? Bastard. Is that a pistol? Oh, okay. It's fucking badass. It probably doesn't have good range though. Oh, sweet. Sweet. Those things are fun, man. I don't know what pistol it was. There's a much more powerful one, which is like pretty much the one-shot kill deal if there's not too many guys around, or you're using like just rolling up. Because the other ones, like some of the automatic weapons, I feel like I have to shoot the guys like 9,000 times to kill them. It's annoying. Well, I try. That's probably part of it. And also I bought some of the upgrades to a couple weapons. It makes a difference too with extended clips and like it prevents, I guess, recoil and shit. Improves the accuracy. Definitely makes a difference. Definitely makes a difference. But my aiming's probably still obviously shittier than yours. Be about your business. I think I'm gonna go on vacation. Yeah, are you mad? Are you gonna be mad at me? Okay, well I'll try. I just went to my dentist to get a filling fix because I was waiting. I think I told you this to get. Yeah, you know this because I went and you helped me with that lady. But I need dental implants. I think I told you that too. I'm missing 2 molars on the one side. So the vacation is that, and also I feel like I need a vacation, but I need to get that done, and doing it elsewhere is literally paying for the vacation and putting thousands of dollars in my bank account. Because it's $8,000 to do it here. I'm thinking out of the places I saw, Poland is really known for like good dental work and whatever. Hungary is really good and very reasonable price. Turkey, very well known. So one of those places. I'm thinking maybe Turkey because they have nice nature. So does Hungary though, some places. So I'm just like looking a little bit at the flights. And also making sure I can go to those places and like, do they have curfews and what are their latest restrictions? But yeah, I'm going to. I feel like there could be worse things in life. But well, if I go there. And I go get an Airbnb somewhere, and I have to recover a little bit from this. It's not like a Jurassic surgery, but I need at least a few days. And I end up having to stay at this Airbnb for a few extra weeks. It's no skin off my back. I would just fucking do some deep thinking and fucking just a disconnect. I think I might even enjoy it, but I don't know. I don't want to be gone for so long either, because when I get back, unless they change the rules, you still have to do the 2-week isolation. But I'm thinking, yeah, that's where when that that's one of the thoughts that came to my mind. I'm like, if we close down, I could travel. It's like, I think that's going to be the pinpoint, but it fucking sucks to not be able to chew basically on my right side, man. Like, picture it's my bottom two molars. Just think about that. Like, you take those out of your mouth. Oh, really? I heard that one is actually not as bad, and actually I know that for a fact because I missed one. I remember I noticed that. I don't know if you do. I remember I lost the first one first, and it was like, okay, I noticed that other one, but I'm still okay. But losing two, it's like I basically can't chew on that side of my mouth properly, and anything that like you need to chew through, like a steak or something, or even like fucking I was eating peanuts the other day and it was like annoying. But I feel like over time, that's part of your like facial structure. I think if you're missing those teeth, I think my fucking like jaw will probably fuck up and stuff. It's just so expensive. Did you ever get a quote? It's fucking thousands. Like, why is it so much? In those places I told you, it's like $1,000 to $1,500 a tooth. It's $4,000 a tooth here. And our benefits doesn't cover any of it, by the way. Yeah. Because otherwise I thought, even if I use, let's say, our full $1,500, if I used $1,500 on one tooth, and then I did the next tooth the next